Okay. So good morning and good afternoon to all the participants who have joined today from different corners of the world. I can see already a lot of different nationalities. I will ask you later, where are you coming from? Because for us, it's really interesting to know why you joined this webinar and in which part of the world you are today. So welcome officially to today's webinar from the GSTC on Mastering Sustainable Event Planning and Turning SDGs into Practice by Visit Berlin. My name is Tatiana, I'm GSTC Membership Coordinator. I'll be moderating this session and I'm very excited about this moment that we are having with all of you. To begin, I would like to tell you that what GSTC does, because I know some of you are familiar with the organization and we have others that are just starting to learn about our work. So the GSTC, as you were seeing in the video, manages the GSTC criteria, which are the global standards for sustainability in travel and tourism. And with this, we offer international accreditation for certification bodies in sustainable tourism with this criteria, which means in more practical terms that we can see the GSTC as a guide or a ruler to measure where we are in terms of sustainability, what we can reinforce and what we can apply so that our tourism organization is truly sustainable. So the criteria are already in two sets. We have the GSTC criteria for destinations aimed at public policy makers and destination managers, and GSTC criteria for industry aimed at hotels and tour operators. Both of them are the result of a global effort to develop a common language on sustainability in tourism. Okay, so before continuing, I would like to know, let me share, where are you coming from? Let me share really quick this so we can see the responses on live. Okay, normally you should have received also at the top of your screen a message, so you can click on it, or you can scan the QR code, or even let me send you the link via the chat. All right. So you can start to get in this. Right. So the first question is, where are you coming from? Sweden, UK, Germany, Uruguay, Berlin, Chile, South America, Vancouver, Canada. Wow, we have really from all parts of the world. That's really nice. Thank you. Dallas, Texas. Nice. So we have a really big community of event planners who are eager to learn about what Visit Berlin has to share with us today. Hungary, Uruguay, China. Nice. Barcelona, Australia. Croatia, Portugal, Brazil. Nice. And a number. Okay, so we have really people from different parts of the world. Welcome everyone again to this webinar. I will stop sharing my screen, but don't hesitate to keep posting your answers here via the link. From Turkey as well, nice. Norway, not that far. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we love to do with these webinars is to have some time to share with you specific cases. Today's case will show us the Sustainable Event Guidelines Berlin and Sustainable Partners that enable event planners to become part of sustainable development, plan events for the future, and inspire target groups. To put your mind at ease, I would like to mention that this webinar will be recorded and available to view on our YouTube channel. Let me send you already the link. And we will have time for a Q&A session after the presentation. Let me close this window. So you now are more than welcome to post all your questions anytime during the webinar using the Q&A box that is at the bottom of the Zoom screen. And we will answer them after Manuel and Kira's presentation. And well, it's time to introduce finally our today's speakers. Manuel is head of business development at Visit Berlin's convention office. The 37 years old has worked in the event industry for 16 years in various positions, lived in the Netherlands. Okay, Manuel is back. Good time, because we are already introducing you. So let me start again so you can see the face behind the biography. Manuel is head of business development at Visit Berlin's convention office. The 37 years old has worked in the event industry for 16 years in various positions, lived in the Netherlands for 4 years and worked at the Hague Convention Bureau, Strel Berlin, Tempelhof Airport, and Leipziger Messe. His credo is do it and experiment. After all, you can't hit the target if you don't shoot the arrow. Kira, from her side, advises event organizers on the sustainable planning and implementation of events and coordinates sustainability projects at Visit Berlin. She has been working for Visit Berlin since December 2013. In 2017, she graduated with a Master of Arts degree in Sustainability and Quality Management. We will then listen carefully to how is that Berlin creates memorable events while minimizing negative impacts. All right, so I imagine participants are eager to hear about how Berlin encourages more sustainable events. So let's start it. Manuel and Kira, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, and sorry for this little shade. As you could see, I have different backgrounds. Now I don't know what happened, but my computer just switched off. So as we always say, we believe in the power of personal meetings, and if you meet an in-person meeting, that wouldn't happen. So sorry for that. I hope it stays now with us, and it just switched off. I don't know what happened. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here and to see also so many people from all over the world joining us. Good morning and good afternoon and good night, wherever you are. In Germany, it's already dark since a couple of hours, so it's the dark season started. My name is Manuel. Thanks you for the introduction, Tatjana. And together with my colleague here, we are happy to tell you a little bit more about what we do in Berlin, about Sustainable Meetings Berlin, and also to have some practical examples from our own events. As you could see on the I'm not able to switch the slides, so Kira, I don't know if you can maybe go forward. That question was already raised, if I'm not mistaken, or was that question not raised? Kira, maybe you can help me out because I missed that section. So that's actually our first question about you, because we just want to learn also actually what is your passion? Why are we here today? And if you could use Mentimeter now to give us a little bit of your background and your targets for today, that would be great. You should see the question right now, if I'm not mistaken. So curious to learn what is your passion actually. Oh, that was the countries. What is your sustainable passion? And during your answers are getting in there, I may share my sustainable passion, and Kira, I'd also like to invite you to share yours. It's so my passion is actually to bring also my personal, my individual feelings and my individual passion to my work life. So I'm into that topic, and it's I do care about a lot of stuff, and I also wanna just do it in my private time. I wanna do it at work, and I think if you work towards sustainability, it also helps you to be more creative actually and to be innovative. And it's not only about the topic itself, it's also what everything comes with it around. So maybe Kira, you also like to share during all participants answer this question.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Kira. Thank you for having us, Tatjana. I'm also from the Berlin Convention Office. I'm also working for the Convention Office since more than 10 years, or since 10 years now. And my passion for sustainability comes to preserve the nature of my home and also here in Berlin. And when I joined for the Convention Office in 2013, there were some great sustainability projects here, and I wanted to develop them further. And yeah, since my daughter was born in 2017, of course, my desire was reinforced. And yeah, in the meantime, as Tatjana also said, I completed also my master thesis and degree in sustainability management. We can see also your comments. Thank you very much. There's also some reason about your kids and ecotourism, social sustainability. Yeah, thank you for sharing this. And we will go further with our presentation. Just let me share my screen again.
Yeah, thank you very much also for all your answers. Kira, maybe you can switch off your microphone. We are now sitting in the same office. So
yeah, sorry.
So we always have to switch that again. So sorry for the technical issues, but it always comes in these moments. No, but thank you also for sharing your personal motivation. Our vision in Berlin is actually to make Berlin one of the most sustainable, innovative, and reliable destinations in the world. And it all sticks together. This is something we, as a convention office from Visit Berlin, are working towards. In general, our tasks are focused on, Kira, if you can maybe go to the next slide. Our tasks are providing information for international event organizers, helping our partners, creating a partner network within Berlin. And we are owned by the city of Berlin, but we also have multiple stakeholders within our companies and shareholders. It's a little bit complicated to share, to explain it into detail. But overall, our big advantage is that we are neutral, so we do not rely on any commission rates or anything. We are really there to help the local economy. We are there to help event organizers, and we provide information as everyone needs it. Our goal is just to maximize expertise with our organizations who do events here. We help you just with simple information about Berlin. We help you with site inspections. We actually customize packages for you if you need certain venues. And we also help you during and right before and after the event with communication. But also we advise you on sustainability. This is what we like to do today a little bit. In general, this is a list of what we, as a convention office, offer as support free of charge. I don't want to go through all the details because we are not having so much time. So I would go rather to go into the detail about the topic you are all here for. Before we start, just to give you an idea where we are based, because I learned that you are all over the world. And Berlin, we are part of Germany in the center of Europe, and within a framework of, let's say, 150 minutes, you can actually cover most part of Europe. So this is where we are located. And also give you a little bit of background how the B2B event destination Berlin actually looks like. We have in total 400 venues, a little bit more than 400 convention and meeting venues in the whole city. It's spread half into meeting hotels and event venues, more or less. And if you look on the actual number of meetings which take place, we have more than 70,000 live events per year in the city, with approximately 6 million participants, so 4.9 million to be exact. This was where the numbers from last year, and this year will be a little bit higher. But this is the market we actually talk about in Berlin. On the next slide, you see that we have 60,000 hotel rooms and 800 toilets. So actually, it's a little bit more than just mentioned them. So this gives you an idea about when Kira is talking later on about our partner network and about how we also try to get partners involved in sustainable event management. This is the scale we talk about in Berlin. On the next slide, we prepared kind of an overview when we say framework, or what we would like to say when it comes to sustainable meetings. This is our framework. We do have not only us as an organization, we do have the suppliers, which I just mentioned to you, but we also have a strong interest from the municipality, from the state of Berlin, and also the aim to be climate neutral. And we do have our customers, and it all comes together. We all bring them together, and the interest of each party is not always the same, and this makes it a little bit tricky for us sometimes, that we achieve all goals and all common goals. And when we talk about that topic, we also talked about, Tatjana mentioned GSDC, and this is actually where I'd like to hand over to my colleague Kira to give you this also where we are at the GSDC index at the moment.
Right. Yeah, with this framework and our vision in mind, we decided 2020 to join the Global Destination Sustainability Movement, and the current ranking was recently announced, and we are very proud to have taken the 6th place among the metropolitan cities here. Yeah, and in order to become even better in this area, we also expanded our Sustainable Meetings Berlin to Sustainable Berlin this year. We now have also the opportunity to train and certify the tourism providers here in Berlin. And with these 3 initiatives, we also want to ensure that all the companies in Berlin's tourism and event industry feel welcomed to be part of Sustainable Berlin. And there's also a 3rd part, the commitment to Sustainable Berlin is particularly interesting for hotels that cannot participate in that certification process, because some of them have already hold another certification or are committed to their own programs, and that's why we have also the commitment to Sustainable Berlin. The criteria set of Sustainable Berlin, so Sustainable Meetings and Sustainable Tourism Berlin, are GSTC recognized. We already, we really appreciate the cooperation with the GSTC, and are very pleased to be also part of the consultation group. Tatjana will tell us a bit more about that in the end of the webinar. But we can say that you also will have the opportunity to contribute to this process and bring in your own ideas and also your own experiences. Yeah, now we have talked a lot about the whole context and our work and our organization, and we would like now to know what do you think about sustainability and event planning? And we kindly ask you to use the Mentimeter to vote. So please take a vote. And let's see, what do you think about sustainable events, and afterwards also what is your knowledge? You have to go one question further, isn't it? It's the question about please rate your knowledge. Thank you. So please now rate your knowledge about sustainable event planning. So 1 is beginner and 10 is the expert. On which scale are you? Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can also put the other question, please rate how much you are implementing to make events more sustainable. So do you use your knowledge about that? Okay. At the moment, it's almost the same, I think. But 5 is great. It's in the middle. Okay. Thank you for your vote. I would like to share now my screen again. Okay, can you see my screen now? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
great. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. To make sustainable event planning as easy as possible for our customers, we developed toolbox. It consists of 4 tools. First is we have some checklisted, like the sustainable event guidelines. We have consultancy free of charge. We have our wonderful sustainable partner, our certified sustainable partner, and we offer financial support for sustainable events. And now we will go closer and have a look into the sustainable event guidelines, the checklist for making events more sustainable. This checklist has various measures and ideas how to make events more sustainable. Sustainability means for us environmentally friendly, more socially acceptable, and therefore also more successful in business. We have put together, as you can see here, 13 fields of actions, from traveling to the event to the communication, and every action field has different actions. But today we will not look into all 13 actions field. Feel free to use the QR code to download the sustainable event guidelines and check it for your own events. On the next page, you can see that for every action, we define the level of priority. You can see it on the green, or in the green leaf on the right-hand side here. And the priority shows where the greatest impact for sustainable event is. So the first priority means there is a high impact on sustainability, and the third priority means there is a lower impact for sustainability. And as you can see here on the actions, the concept of an event is, particularly very important for its sustainability performance. It is very helpful, or we felt that it was very helpful for us to have this vision to become one of the most sustainable destinations in the world. This is our vision, and we try to put concrete goals and also define terms and specific measurements to reach that vision. And in this way, you can actually measure also your own success and also track the continuous improvement process. Yeah, on the next slide, you can see further measurements like CO2 measurements, and also it's the aim to reduce CO2, and in the end, maybe also offsetting CO2 emissions. And Manuel will present now one of our best practice projects, the Festival. Yeah, and before I will go to the sustainability concept of the festival, Manuel will tell us about a bit more about that event.
Yeah, thank you very much. The festival was our biggest event actually, which we've ever done. It was this year in July. We have done it now for the third time. So since 3 years, this is our key project where we invite international clients to Berlin. We recognize that this is the biggest showcase event from a destination worldwide. And our aim was from the beginning onwards to make it different. And to make it different not only in terms of sustainability, but also in terms of the event concept. So I thought maybe it's good to explain it a little bit, because this year we also had the Special Olympics in Berlin. And Special Olympics was a really great success, an event highlight where thousands of athletes came to Berlin. And I always say, I always give the alliteration to Dick Frostbury. I don't know if you know him. He died this year, unfortunately. But high jumping is also a category in the Special Olympics. And I really like that category, because to see people doing this, it's just amazing. I never could do it by myself because I'm not made for this kind of sport. But I really enjoy to see how people achieve it to jump so high and really go for it. And Frostbury had an idea to have a new technique. I don't know if you know his story, but his story is quite great, because no one before him actually jumped like this over had or used this technique before. He was the first one. Actually, in the Olympic Games, they already almost thought about forbidding to jump like this, because it was not common, it was not used. And he managed with that one to actually win the Olympic Games, because this technique was so unique and so good. And nowadays, I don't know if you watch Olympics or Special Olympics or any kind of sports, but this is the common way of doing it. And this is actually kind of inspiration, like what we do with festival. No, not many destinations, or actually, I think we are the only one at this moment to have such a big client event with hundreds. And this year we had more than 1,000 participants. So actually, we tried to do something new, and not only for the event concept itself. So Frostbury is also part of our how do I say, like inspiration to be sustainable as possible. And this from the beginning onwards, from the event concept to the very end. And I just want to give you some inspiration with some pictures from the event, that you see how it looks like, because it's a 2.5 day event where we, as I mentioned, have more than 1,000 participants in total, 800 clients from the MICE and from the travel industry, but also 200 suppliers from Berlin. We used several venues within Berlin. We created also a kind of meeting campus where we use 2 venues next to each other for different event formats and for different times of the day, where people just went from one venue to the other venue. We had networking areas, we had networking points, and all of this, as you can see on the pictures a little bit, or can imagine, was made with our sustainable target, or was created actually to follow our sustainable targets. Our festival experience area in the Sage Beach Club actually presented the whole event in a totally different way. So participants who joined the welcome reception and the first day of the event discovered something completely new and had fun elements there. We used workshops there. We had a fuck up night. We had slams and so on. So we actually tried to give a complete inspirational tour during the event and give participants a broad overview what actually they can expect from Berlin. And on the second day, we not only talked about Berlin, we not only talked about different content sessions about sustainability, community, and so on. We just brought the people to the city. We had more than 60 partner events in the first half of the day. We had 20 tours organized where people could just explore the city. And we had it's called a long night of the hotels, where people just went in the evening from one hotel to another hotel. We had 12 hotels involved, and they had an open bar for all participants, and they could just have an easy roundup. And this is a really massive event for us, and we managed quite good actually, and achieved something really great, what we are proud of. And Kira, this is where I'd like to hand over to you, because actually it was you who worked the most on it.
Yeah, thank you, Manuel. Of course, one objective for this year was to secure the ISO 20121 certification, which is for sustainable event management. And yeah, we got that certifications some days before. Now we also received the certificates here at the office, and yeah, so this was very a very big success for us. Just to let you know, we had, for example, actions like we had 100% vegetarian or vegan catering. We had a sustainability plan prior to the festival on our website, where we communicated all actions we had. We also have a sustainability report where you can read all the actions and also all the CO2 calculations. On the next page, there is a QR code where you can download the sustainability report. It contains also the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and how we implemented that to the festival. It includes also all facts about travel and transport on the location, on the organization of the festival, and how we try to communicate also all the targets to our partners and to our customers. We did a lot, but of course we can always do better. And on the next page I have put together the CO2 calculation for that event. We even had more CO2 emissions like 2022, but it was an effect because we had also so many more customers here in Berlin from international destinations, and it is good to see the figures and to try to reduce as much as you can, but of course. Here we have put together the guidelines, and we try to show the priority of each action fields in comparison to the budget we have used at the festival, because we experienced that for the catering, for example, we need really a lot of budget to transform it to be sustainable. So we had vegetarian, but we also had ecological food. We had we had sorry, I missed the word. We used just plates. We had no waste for the catering, and that was why we used more budget here. And we have put the red symbol to show you where's the biggest impact for sustainability. So if you have a great concept, if you have transportation by train, if you use sustainable partners and certified partners, you have a bigger impact by using less budget. So this is the key. And Manuel, do you like to add here something?
Maybe I jump in. Yeah, it's actually, we thought about talking about a little bit also about finance, because this is actually what most are interested about, because a lot of people think it's expensive to do sustainable events. It can be more it can be more expensive and sustainable, but it can be more expensive, but it doesn't have to be. For example, Kira mentioned the fact catering. Our aim was to have as good as food as possible during the event, but we also could have done easier stuff, right? So it was up to us. So we made the decision to have only also regional food and to have exceptional caterers. We had 5 exceptional caterers during the event. Really, they prepared dishes, live cooking sessions, and so on. So that was our choice to really give good experience to our clients and to our customers. But you also could do easier stuff. And if you look on the way where we think like it's the easiest to achieve stuff, it's just what is here on point 1 in general, just be aware of what you are doing, just to have a concept and a plan and to figure out actually what is important for the success of my event, what is not so important, which parts can I leave maybe out, what has no influence on the quality of my event, and which parts are necessary and I don't want to miss, or my exhibitors don't want to miss. And this is actually, sometimes it's quite easy just to leave some stuff. So do I really need flyers? Do I really need all the printed stuff or material which are thrown away afterwards? Or can I maybe just also avoid it and or use presentations or other stuff? And same goes with sustainable partners. In Berlin, but also in other cities, you do have a lot of event suppliers who are actually who have certifications that they work on a sustainable way. And if you use them, usually they're not so much more expensive. Actually, in Berlin, they have almost the same prices like other suppliers. They're just not always that big. So sometimes you have to use more, like with our catering companies. We use several of them to fulfill all the needs. But if you use partners and suppliers who follow certain ways to operate, it has a really big influence, and it goes a little bit hand in hand with the event venue. Actually, we put no frame around it, but we discussed it yesterday a little bit if we should put a frame around it, because we weren't sure. Because if you pick the right venue, which has certifications, what kind of energy they use, but also the way they operate, the staff they include, if they have to use air conditioning or not, just the different ways where you can have simple things which actually help you to still have a great event, to still build up great connections between your participants, but it may also help you to reduce CO2 emissions or completely avoid them sometimes. And what we really think is number 11 is really important also to us, is communication. Talk about what you do, and not only to your participants, but also to everyone involved in the project, to the team, to the suppliers, to stakeholders, investors, whoever is involved. Just be transparent about your targets. And this also avoids like misunderstanding right before or during the event, and also usually creates support from a lot of people, and share this value and share the same target makes them actually also think about their actions, how they gonna go to the event, what kind of material they will use, and so on. So this is actually our way when we thought just giving the the Euro signs behind it, like you used to on Google Maps when you go to a restaurant, might be easier, where you see like, well, this is cheap and good, easy to achieve, and this is a little bit more expensive. So this was the basic idea about that.
Yeah, and to summarize all that, we just can say, just start your sustainable vision, create a vision, create goals and actions, do it step by step, and implement first actions, and yeah, keep it short and sexy. Of course, in documenting all those actions, and to involve the most people, and your stakeholders. And now we have time for your questions. We can also have a look into the other action fields if you have any specific questions. Furthermore, of course, you can always contact us. You can feel free to download the guidelines and use them also for your own events, or come to Berlin. Tatjana, are there any questions to answer?
Yes.
Do you have questions, maybe?
Well, I would like to begin to say thank you very much for you, Kira and Manuel, for sharing this tremendous work. I mean, I had the pleasure to be in place at the festival of this year, and it was a really great experience. Like they propose a lot of alternatives, and I'm not vegetarian, but for example, as you were saying, the catering was something really important that also create an atmosphere of awareness. I remember that you proposed a kebab with lettuce, and for me as no vegetarian, I thought like it wouldn't be the same flavor, but I was mistaken. It was really delicious, and the whole event was a great success. So I wanted to say that, and thank you for what you have shared, because I know that you are giving valuable clues about not only the importance of proposing sustainable events, but also putting now the SDGs into action. Because sometimes we say a lot, but we don't go further to the action. So surely our audience has a lot of questions to ask you. Don't forget that if you have any questions for our speakers, you can put them at the bottom of your screen using the Q&A box. And if you prefer to ask the question with your voice, just raise your hand and I will be happy to activate the microphone for you.
And Tatjana, if you may allow me,
yes,
like what you just saw, like sometimes it looks quite easy and to have little like these checklists and these overviews, but sometimes you wouldn't imagine how much work it was to have it that easy, right? To have it in that short words, because beforehand we had sometimes really long lists, like hundreds of columns, right? And really had a lot of things. And we wanted to make it easy to understand. And sometimes, of course, you can say that you may miss some things, but it's easy to start. And this was actually what Kira just mentioned: be short and be sexy, be as easy as possible. Because for most of us in the industry, it's about a start. It's not about being at 100% from the beginning onwards. So that's why it took us a lot of time to simplify it that much, to really narrow it down to this single and simple points, to be honest.
And that is great that you have shared today this. I share also the links at the same time that you share the screen with the QR code. So the audience can find the links on the chat. It's really useful information. I really think that, and they make it very clear. They take all the knowledge into little details. So I encourage you to go to the links and look further, because it's a tremendous work from Visit Berlin. So before we go, I see already questions coming up. Let me share some words of our GSTC project manager, is Dr. So-Young Lee, who couldn't join the webinar as she lives in Seoul, where it's about 2 a.m. in the morning. So let me just share my screen really quick with her words. Can you please thumbs up if you see the screen? Great.
Ladies
Nice.
and gentlemen, my name is So-Young Lee, the project manager of Global Sustainable Tourism Council. Been working over the several months. As you all know, GSTC already has two sets of criteria, the GSTC industry criteria and the GSTC destination criteria. But due to the demand and going green in the meetings and events and MICE industry, GSTC has decided to develop another set of criteria, which is a MICE criteria. Our team has been working on it since April 2023, and it will be published February 2024. Currently, the feasibility assessment on the MICE criteria draft has ended, and this we are compiling the results to do the second round of public consultation. Apart from the MICE criteria, we have attraction criteria development going on, which has started from June 2023, and it will last until October 2024. Our criteria development follows a strict terms of reference from the ICL Alliance Standard Setting Code. In the terms of reference, which you can find in our website, you can read and find the background of why we have come up to develop this MICE criteria. The scope of the criteria is also defined in this terms of reference, and you can also read our objectives and the uses of the criteria. Also, the standard setting process is very well outlined in the terms of reference, which you can find in chapter 4. To give you an overview of what kind of stakeholders we engage in the development process, you can see in the red box that we have named this technical team. So the technical team composes of two teams, the GSTC Secretariat and the external experts. GSTC Secretariat is including our assurance director, Dr. Mihi Gang, our Asia Pacific manager, Ms. Emi Kaiwa, and myself. We are responsible for all the administration things that is going on during the criteria development. However, the criteria draft itself is drafted by external experts team. Currently, we have 3 contractors who are working on the draft. So these 3 professionals were responsible of drafting the MICE criteria, which was the basis for the first public consultation. Then these 3 professionals, they have compiled the results into the second draft, which was the basis for the feasibility assessment. And now they are compiling the results, which will be the basis for the second public consultation. The technical team will get high-level feedback from the advisory group and also from the key stakeholders group. Apart from these two groups, we also have the GSTC MICE working group, and also the feasibility assessment participants will have their results and feedback collected. We also engage the public through workshops and online survey. So this is where the second public consultation will play a big role. We will be sending out survey links to you to engage you in our MICE criteria draft. We also have a duty to engage the disadvantaged group members. So groups that have not access to the internet or to any language barriers or due to any kind of barriers that we can think of, those groups are considered disadvantaged groups. And GSTC Secretariat is making sure that their opinions are heard and reflected to the MICE criteria draft. So all of these process of the criteria development is overseen by our International Standards Committee. The timeline of the GSTC criteria development process is as follows. We have begun in April 2023 to identify and confirm the criteria development. Then we moved on to organizing the team. Here, organizing the team means that we have reached out to our who can be on our external experts team, who can be on our advisory team, and who can be our stakeholders teams. After that, we have made the public announcement on our website through the terms of reference. Simultaneously, when we announced the criteria development, our experts have begun to draft the first draft. Then it has undergone the public consultation, and then we have revised on the second draft, the feasibility assessment, and then the next steps that we have been going through is outlined in the PPT. So you may be wondering who is on our advisory group members. We have actually tried very hard to have a very global coverage. So here you can see the lists of our advisory group members. Also, the key stakeholder group members, we have also tried to have a global outreach and a global coverage. Both of these groups were responsible on reaching out to their network and encouraging them to participate in our public consultation, but also in the feasibility assessment. The MICE criteria, we have defined 3 subsectors: venue, event organizer, event and exhibition. So in the criteria draft, you will see 3 different criteria for the 3 different subsectors. Food and beverage and audiovisual subsectors were not covered in the GSTC MICE criteria. For each of these 3 subsectors, we cover all of the 4 pillars each: sustainability management, social and economic benefits, cultural heritage, and environment. In the criteria, just like the GSDC industry and GSDC destination criteria, we do not outline do's and don'ts. We try to give guidance on how to maximize the benefits and minimize the negative impacts. We would like to emphasize that our criteria development process is a very transparent process. We outline and we announce on our website every time we do the public consultation. And every time a new step we take in the development process, we try to make it available on our website. So please visit our website frequently, or if you have any questions. We will also link the MICE criteria second public consultation link when the survey is ready. So you can actually visit our page. This is just an example. This is from the first public consultation. You can also find the key findings report of it that is also available on the website. We have announced that previously that the second public consultation is scheduled for November 15th until December 14th, but we have made a slight changes in the dates. So the second public consultation will be from November 24th to December 29th, 2023. We will make sure that the participants in this webinar will receive the survey link to your email. So we have decided to do the MICE criteria based on several needs: awareness, knowledge, time, finance, and human resources. Our next plan after the MICE criteria development is finalized is to come up with some trainings of the MICE program. We would like to share this information and include stakeholders, including destinations and industry, and wherever this MICE industry may affect you. We are also in the development of the certification scheme. So our message to you today is to encourage you to join the public consultation. We will be asking you to comment and define on each criterion and each indicators related to the criterion. If you do not wish to comment on the whole criteria set, you may give your answers or feedback on one of the 4 pillars that you feel comfortable. So thank you very much. I think this was all from my part.
All right, so thank you for having listened carefully to these words from our project manager who couldn't join us now. Just briefly, I will send you on the beginning of next week the link of the survey, so you can, as she was saying, you can put all your observations, your notes, your input, share your knowledge of what you think we should add or modify. That will be sent on Monday. And now let's go because we, as GSTC, the part of this purpose is to generate discussion and co-construct together. So let's start with the discussions to answer all the questions of our beloved audience. Let me start by the first. Where is it? Okay. Oh, I see that Kira already answered here. Perfect. So you already sent the link. You can serve as how can you assure that suppliers will accomplish the rules of sustainability? They can say that they are doing it, but it's somebody checking that also. So Kira already answered with the link and told them that it's certified by the 60 criteria. I have another question.
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
I can just add
can
some comments
add
about
first.
that. Sustainable Meetings Berlin is also a certification here in Berlin, and we started in 2018 to certify the first partners. The criteria catalog is about 60 criteria. It's also about economically, ecological and social criteria. And yeah, this year we had about 57 sustainable partners certified. They are audited every year, and yeah, for the festival we also used this sustainable partner, and for those who are not certified, we had a code of conduct with all our criteria, and they had to sign it. That's how we make sure that our partners also act sustainable.
Okay, and I think this question is also related to this last one, so it's perfect. What are some of the main challenges that the implementation of a sustainable event may face? Like the main challenges of a sustainable event. What do you think?
The main challenge of a sustainable, I mean, the main challenge is actually to start. To start means not only that the ones who are in this call are starting, but to convince actually the persons who are financing the event, who are the decision makers behind it, right? This is actually where it starts, to go a little bit out of the comfort zone about what you are used to. And one of the easiest examples, because everybody just also can imagine how it is, like it is with our vegetarian and vegan food, the offer at festival. It is not common in Germany, and I guess in many countries, to offer no meat. So usually during these kind of events, you do it. But with that, it's so simple just to say, well, we serve no meat, and it saves you 80% of the CO2 emission from your catering. And it's such an easy thing, actually. You just cross it out of the offer from the caterer or from the holder or whatever is your partner. But as I said, it's hard to start. To convince the decision maker, to convince maybe the audience, or to also live with maybe sometimes complaints. We did get 2 complaints that there was no meat, 2 out of 1,000, so it's fine. But this is something where you actually struggle with. And the other thing is, I mean, it's not only us. There are so many partners out there sharing their knowledge, having actually quite good lists. I mean, for Festival, we used the ISO certification process in this year, which was massive. So it was really a lot of work. Kira went to so much documents, so much things she actually had to write down, not only the concept, but also checklists, and also on site we were checked. This you can do if you are advanced, but this is also a barrier, to be completely honest, because it is actually a lot of time which you have to invest. If you want to go really, like, you can start quite easy, but if you want to, the better you get, you more have to also go through stuff, and you also have to have people actually who know about what is important and who are dedicated and go the extra mile, who do not accept if the caterer is offering bananas, although it was not in the offer, who say, well, you should not have bananas. Just to give an example from this year's catering situation, it's really sometimes into the details. So you can go quite deep and have a lot of stuff. So I would say it's just important to start and to have good arguments on your side, and this is, I guess, also the biggest barrier. Does it answer the question? I don't know who raised the question, but if there is maybe more, like we can also chat on later. Yeah.
Okay. No, I think you replied to the question, and actually you encourage people with that answer to go and take the first step, which is probably the most difficult one. I have another one here about the data on CO2 emissions. Do you have a goal to a specific number? To reach a specific number of co-emissions?
Oh, Kira, do you like to? It is hard to have a specific number, to be honest. The event looks each year different. So each year we have a completely different event concept. And if you compare the numbers also in total, we started with 300 participants in the time during COVID. So 95% of all participants came from Germany. The other ones came from France and the Netherlands. Then we had, in the second year, 800 participants, which is almost triple the number of participants, right? So you automatically have more CO2 emissions. And we had like 20% people coming from Europe, some overseas, but not so many. This year we had 1,000 participants, even more. And we are, of course, the ones that we are proud, because we managed to have more than 30% international visitors, but some of them came overseas from North America. This massively increases. I mean, if you have seen our CO2 emissions, where it comes from, and just have it open, this slide, the biggest amount of the CO2 emissions is actually transportation, arrival and departure. This was I think more than 80% of all the CO2 emissions from our event, and this has the biggest influence. So everything we do on site, I would say we are quite good already, and we can focus on these numbers per participant. There we actually also measure each year, but the total amount is really hard, because the more successful we are, the more clients we can invite. Of course, we have to live with the fact that we have to bring the people here on site. There's still no other way of transportation than for some, like if you come from North America, or if you come from south of Spain to Berlin, it will take you 2 days by train. So there is no other way of transportation than to use a plane. And this is something our industry still has to cope with. And this has a big influence on the CO2 emissions.
I see. Yes, you want to collect this data to see the evolution, and that will give you also insights on how to continue operating. Thank you for the answer. And let's go with the final one, because we are already a little bit extra of time, and you should be tired. A lot of the audience are in Europe and some of them in Asia, so it's kind of late. So how many people are working on it? Well, we could have maybe 2 questions if you would like. How many people?
Concerning the sustainability aspect, we had one external sustainability manager and us as festival project team. Do you know, Manuel, how many people worked then from the agency, and also including us? Because I have no idea at the moment.
So in total for the whole, I mean, I understood the question that how many people are working on sustainability within visitBerlin. But maybe the question is also interesting. So we had Kira and one external supplier actually helping us. And we had the Good Searcher certification company who actually went through Kira and this external consultant through all the processes and do all the charts we had to fill and stuff like this. Within the agency, there were several people working on all the logistics, but not dedicated only to sustainability. So we had only, I would say, for the event, 2 people only working on that. But within visitBerlin, you can explain a little bit better how your team and also the visitBerlin team in general is actually set up.
Yeah, I guess for Sustainable Meetings Berlin, we are 4 persons working for Sustainable Meetings Berlin, and then we also have the Sustainable Berlin and Sustainable Tourism team. I guess there are 3 people within the DMO. So, and we have also students working for us. Then maybe 10 persons within Visit Berlin for sustainability as a DMO.
And may I add something? It's not only them. It's not only the 9 to 10 people working dedicated to them. It's actually the whole company, starting from interns up to the CEO. Everybody has to be aware of the topic, and everybody in the company has to understand why we are doing it and has to follow that aim. And this is actually within the BCO, but also in our other departments the case. So everybody understands what we do. So it's not only the dedicated persons to it, but it's also what I just mentioned, everybody around it.
Thank you very much. And one last question from Sweden, where we are going to hold our next conference in April 2024 at the end. So already you're welcome to join us there. It's from Trosten Karlen, who is asking, does the city of Berlin have any goals about how many events you label as sustainable events if they are operated by the city?
No, I never heard that so far, to be honest. It would be good, actually. I could say within our company. So our aim is to all events we are organizing. We don't not only festivals, we also do more events. So we have several stakeholder events. We have events for people who are living in Berlin and like to get involved with the tourism industry. So we have several events per year, and our goal is actually to have all events following our standards. Which is actually, what I just mentioned, hard to start with, because we also have to convince stakeholders about certain things you leave or you change within an event concept. So all our colleagues are involved. But to be honest, there's no official number. I never heard of an official number that how many events should be sustainable. Actually, it's a good thing. We should address that, and could be one of our targets for the next couple of years, that it should be not only us, it should be also other political institutions and the local government. Thank you for that inspiration.
Yes. Thank you, both of you, and thank you very much for showing us that there is a strength in numbers with the program that you have developed, and that it was not an easy job, but for sure it has a lot of results in Berlin for event organizers. And thank you as well as you for the public for dedicating time to this case. We hope that you also take away lessons and that you have had a pleasant time. I remind that the recording of this webinar will be uploaded on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it later. Thank you again all, Manuel and Kira, for joining us today. I hope that you have an excellent rest of your day or night already, keeping in mind that every action adds. So thank you again, and goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Manuel, Kira. Goodbye, everyone.